Okay.
So she got rewound.
Nobody joined me. I was the only one this time. God damn it.
That's the unique sound of the day.
The DM has rewound.
Excuse me.
No,
God damn.
that.
Welcome back to Dying.
Oh. Okay, that's why I was confused. I thought we were talking about the commanders. Yeah, Viren something.
Next time on Dying and Dying, D&D.
Next time, dine with Aurelia. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome back to D&D.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Welcome to
So-
unexpected session, I guess.
Not unexpected.
I don't think we talked about this last week on stream. I think
We've had this one planned for a while. Like, this was our last one that we had planned out.
Oh, that's right. And then we planned more this week. Okay.
So, picking up where we left off for our 8-hour session, which was a lot of very interesting shit that happened.
Door.
That's a lot
Doors.
of doors.
Door.
We heard you like doors. So I would like everybody to give me, let's go with... I see everybody start typing. Let's go with, let's see, 2, 3, 6, 7D 69.
Nice.
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 All right. Callie,
Me.
because you rolled the funny meme number.
Okay, so at the beginning of session, we made our way to the Cave of Lament in the wheel. We weren't quite sure what exactly was going on. We couldn't see into it from the outside. Amaya kind of immediately knew that it was a ley line on the material plane. So I believe it was Varys just kind of charged in, because Varys is in sad boy mode. So we made our way through the cave through literally hundreds of tries at doors. Some of them leading to like different planes. There was one that led to an oven. One led to somebody's house. Found the director. And then eventually we found the door that we were looking for that led to the library that we were searching for. We found... Help me with pronouncing his name, please.
Trevalin?
Yeah, I never say that right. Trevalin. The ancient ascendant great worm who collects knowledge.
Which you guys don't know about in character technically, though.
Fair. Yeah, he collects knowledge. He requested information from each one of us in exchange for being able to look through his library, which Amaya and Sigrun did. We also found a really old vampire hunter lady that Varys located on his own, and we finally made our way back to finding him. But now we're chilling in the library. Sorry. I misgendered the vampire.
Hear you.
And
I'm
for
so
the one who's streaming, Arusha the vampire hunter, who is also a vampire.
Yes.
Yeah, but she's
I
like an
found her.
alpha, though.
Yeah. She's like one of the original vampires. But yeah, so now we're in the library. Progenitor. I like that word. Sigurd and Amaya, I guess, finishing up looking for their information while everyone else is chilling.
Yes, so had you wanted to go and look up that information with Amaya, if Amaya was okay with it, Gulag?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Oh yeah, that's fine.
are you okay with... Okay. So I will forward him also all the information really quick. So after Sigrun is done getting his information, he goes and essentially like babysits Um,
Bears.
Ferris. Yeah, sorry, I was copy pasting. So if you'd like to quickly RP amongst yourselves really quick while I copy paste this over, I would not be against it.
Alright. So Hughes is gonna. I'd say Hughes probably hung out with Varys the rest of the time. So as Sigrun comes up, Hughes is gonna ask Sigrun, "So, did you find anything?"
Yes, though in some areas not as much as I was hoping for.
That's fair. So, useful stuff, though, I would imagine.
It can be, hopefully.
Care to share any, or save for the time that it's necessary?
Might as well wait until everyone's here at least.
Fair enough.
So I guess Amaya's gonna walk up with Kulog, kind of muttering to him, but loud enough that like you guys would be able to hear as they approach. I want in that restricted information section. There has to be something he wants.
I'm floating right here, dear.
Yes, well, being as you seem to hear everything.
Well, it is my plane. Of course I'd hear everything.
Well, of course, I meant no disrespect.
Oh, none taken.
I do wonder, though, as a collector of knowledge from various planes, is there anything you're seeking that you haven't been able to obtain? Or
Oh,
perhaps have been a little slow to obtain?
you know, I'm not really sure. I don't know what I'm specifically looking for until it happens to just fall into my lap. I have quite a bit of information about a lot of things. I don't know if you would be able to have the means at the moment of getting me anything that I might want. Perhaps when you guys get a little more experience under your belts.
Fair enough, but no one never knows. Means do change at the drop of a hat.
Of course, of course.
Good to know, however, and do thank you for the use of your facility.
Well, it's here for everybody to use. Not fair that I just hoard all this knowledge myself, of course.
Lane shifting aside, I do look forward to seeing you again soon.
Do you happen to have a bathroom in here? Or Phineas is just kind of standing there, like, doing the little, like, bathroom dance.
He's potty dancing.
He's potty dancing. Very lazily and without even, like, fully addressing Orpheus, uh, Trafalgar kind of gives a little wave of his hand, and one of his, like, mini clones comes out and takes Orpheus by the hand. The mini version of him is super fucking small, like, almost childlike, and takes his hand and leads him off in a different direction from you guys.
Do you ever leave this place?
Oh, very rarely. It has been quite some time.
No social calls?
Not for a while, at least. It's been a... God, when was the last time? Hmm. It's been a minute or two.
At least. Well, let's just offer curiosity. I'm always curious about people. Perhaps you could visit in Ardengard someday, if you so feel the urge.
Wouldn't be terrible to see how it's doing.
sure perhaps Marion would be happy to see you, since you have a bit of history in whatever way that occurred. Mental
Oh,
or
no
stupid,
more
whatever the
history
case may
than
be.
yeah, no more history than any other person, I would suppose. Our paths crossed once or twice, but nothing too personal, I guess.
Certainly. Well, I'm sure you know where the place is, but we've taken up residence in Valen Manor. Please do feel free to stop by.
That sounds wonderful. Sketch, what the fuck?
Ew.
Slurp, slurp.
God damn it.
Tell you what, if it's all right with everyone else, maybe we could host you for a dinner when we get back. I'm sure you'll know when we arrive, probably.
Well, I'd hope so. I am the one that supposedly sent you back there.
But I mean, you know, back from everything else that we're doing. Perhaps a week or two.
How about this? Why don't you just send me a sending when you are ready to have a dinner, and I'll see about showing up. No promises, though. If it doesn't fit into my schedule, I'll let you know.
Yes, I can see you're very busy.
Hoarding knowledge is quite a busy job indeed.
Fair enough.
Someone has to sift through all of it and make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Indeed. Hold my hand up to shake it. Shake hands.
He looks over at it, reaches out and like grips your like index finger with his index finger and thumb and just kind of gives like a wiggle.
I'll take that.
Guys! Orphinius comes like you hear the slapping of his shoes on the ground. You guys should see the bathroom here. I think it might be a real gold sink.
Do they have a golden shower to go with the golden sink?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look. But I stole some of his soaps.
Please, not the soap. Are you sure you want to do that, Orphe? Are you turning to a life of crime?
They were seashell shaped.
That's how you know they're fancy.
Right? Terrellin just kind of gives a little chuckle and shakes his head and uh he's still kind of doing that like half-ass floating in front of you guys where he's like lounging a little bit and leaning to the side, not like fully upright. And he's just kind of idly watching you guys with mild interest.
I do apologize. I'm trying to teach him that there is a bit of a code to thievery.
Oh, it's quite all right. The soaps are there for guests anyway. Now,
What do they smell like? Oh,
what? I actually don't know. I don't use them myself because I don't have any need to. But
hey, Orphe, what
yeah.
do they smell like?
Okay, hold on. He like takes the wax papering off one of them. He gives it a sniff. It smells like. It reminds me of something that my mom used to wear. She used to put like this powder all over her face. It kind of smells like that.
Definitely fancy soaps. The
I
fancy
don't
ones
really
never
like the
smell
smell of it.
Fancy fancy soaps, goodness, they never smell the best.
As long as it makes bubbles, I don't really care how it smells.
Anything in life that's free smells great.
do have one last question.
Arts are free.
I stand corrected.
Oh, the mind of a child.
The cave that we came in through. It's a ley
Yes.
line, is it not?
It is indeed, yes.
Been to one previously, and it's a bit different. Do you have, perhaps, any idea of how to... Mm, I don't know. I don't know how to properly word it. Crack into its power. I noticed a little bit of a benefit in the last one that I visited. That's hung around for quite some time. I was wondering if this is the same.
Well, usually staying in a ley line for an extended period of time will leach some effects into each other, or the people there rather, and he kind of looks over all you. I can already see it has worked its magic into you. All grouped up so nicely. Um,
Insight check. Does that seem like a good thing or a bad thing?
roll for it.
Yeah.
He's thinking of casting Fireball on us right now.
Or something worse.
You're not sure. He's definitely telling the truth. He's had no reason to lie to you guys so far, and it doesn't really seem like his thing. Um, but because of all the information that he knows about other shit, you're not entirely sure if it's good or not.
That's interesting.
Let's just say you all begin to be quite, how do I put this? Easier access for casting spells. Some of you might find that you have the ability to do so where you wouldn't have previously.
Interesting. Aye, Varys.
Would you like me to take a look and find out what kind of magic you can cast?
I've never casted magic before.
Quite simple. Here, come here. Let me see your hand.
He walks over, kind of hesitant about the whole situation, and puts his hand out, palm up.
He takes his hand uh, and like holds yours essentially and kind of like looks at it and turns it over and wiggles your fingers around one by one with his other hand while he's still holding it. And he's just doing like weird shit. And he goes, yes, quite. Well, fascinating enough, it looks like you might have the ability to, quite simple really, but shape water into small little things or do unique stuff with it, like maybe change the color or freeze a little bit of it at a time. Very basic, minor things.
How do I do it?
Well, you focus and you imagine what you want, and normally magic is personal to each person. There are general rules that people can use and follow, but the more personal you make it, the easier it is to cast. So, whatever you feel comes to you in the moment, if you just listen hard enough, you should be able to conjure this magic forth.
Varys looks around to see if there's like any water. Like, I don't know if this guy has like fountains in this place or what.
He doesn't have fountains, however, uh, oh, Mento. Yes, Orphanius. Orphanius goes, "Oh, I got this," and he goes over to like this large, like fire pit essentially that was off the side, and he just kind of like dumps it very slowly onto the ground, place it upright, and then just creates water in the basin.
I guess that'll work. And Varys, like, he holds his hand out, palm facing the basin of water now, and slowly turns his hand clockwise so that the palm goes up. And casting shape water, the water raises up out of the basin and slowly takes shape that you can't really see yet because the water is still just like clear blue water. But then it starts to take on a green appearance and shapes itself into the giant citadel that is sitting now where his old home used to be before it drops and splashes back in to the basin.
You're a natural.
Wow, Varys.
Mhm.
I knew that I could mess around with lights, but that was cool. Can you do it
can do
again?
more than mess with lights, my dear friend. You can do something that a couple of your other friends here are able to do now. Produce lightning from your fingertips. You already have the ability to do some magic. Why don't you give it a try?
Kulog like holds his fingers up to his face and like just kind of like flicks them, like snaps almost. And in that moment, he sees like a little shock in between like his middle finger and his thumb. He sees just like a little spark kick up. How how do I control it?
Well, for this spell normally, and Orphinius pipes up. He's like, "Oh, for that one, that's the one I really wanted to use on you when we were sparring. Normally, you have to touch the person to do it, uh, but it's really good against people in armor, and it makes people. It essentially like messes with their nervous system to make it so that like you can get away easier if like you're in a rush or something, and it hurts them at the same time. It's a really cool spell."
Wait, so it like it stuns them in a way, shocks them?
Yeah, kind of. Just like super briefly, like if you're trying to run away, that's when I like to use it, and they can't like, attack you when you leave because they're just like, you know.
Whoa,
Trying
that's
to
really cool.
explain that they can't take reactions
Yeah.
is so weird in character.
So, did everyone just learn a little bit of magic?
Yeah. Sorry. Wrong person. Yes. You have the ability to shoot little ice balls and rays or whatever.
Oh. Well, ain't that just fancy?
Wait, does that mean Hustel can have a snowball fight whenever he wants?
Less snowballs and think more jet of freezing cold.
You want to have a snowball fight? I can do that.
You
Well,
still
we
just...
never did get a chance to be kids together, Amaya. Maybe one day we should have a snowball fight.
It'll be when you least expect it.
And Kulog just smirks at her.
I think Callie and 47 all also picked Shocking Grasp. Right?
What?
I did.
You guys-
Callie did not.
What did Callie pick?
I don't know.
Oh, you picked Mind Sliver.
Yeah, mine's silver.
Ah.
I just realized.
Yeah, remember these are the cantrips I had all you guys pick.
Yeah, I remember now.
I realized I picked that cantrip as Atrix, not Dark.
Yeah, which one was it?
I think it was Mind Sliver.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did mine.
I'll just transfer it over.
Because everyone's trying to copy me.
Everyone trying to copy me.
I had it once. I just want it back. Okay.
You go.
It's a great
Cantrip
spell,
copied
especially
over.
for comboing with other people using saving throws.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now you two. Pardon me. Had a large lunch. You're able to get into the minds of others. Quite simple and basic, but they do have a chance of resisting it, but is your mind sliver wrong? Hold on. No, it's not. Okay. It does weaken people a little bit when you are able to get past their mental fortitude. If you're talking, you're muted.
Mine just kind of nods. Sounds familiar.
Dark's eyebrow perks up, like arches.
What's wrong, Doc? I thought you put all your secrets on the table.
Oh, nothing. I didn't know I could do that, and now I kind of want to try it on somebody. But I'm refraining
Try it on
from
me.
doing so. I'm not that stupid.
Oh,
I'll
come
try it on Gulag.
Okay, go ahead and target him and attempt it.
Do I need a wisdom saving throw it?
It'll automatically roll it when he targets you and does it.
Okay.
Where the fuck did you get the Cloak of Billowing from?
Who?
You.
He's had that
It was
forever.
the
Yeah.
cloak that was in the Temple of the Mother, in the chest.
So that's right, it was.
Yep.
Damn, those are good rolls.
No one
on
was wearing
these
it for the
D6.
longest time, so I put it on.
Yeah, you actually succeeded on your intelligence saving throw.
Let's go! I'm dumb as a box of rocks, but I did it. Let's go!
You definitely feel something poking your head, and you start getting a little bit of a headache, but you kind of shake your head and manage to stave off the effects.
Did you happen to feel that, big guy?
I felt something. It felt like somebody was like taking a needle and just like lightly poking my brain. Was that you, Dark?
No, it was not. His Dark will say that, tried to hold back a smile.
I would like to, in character, insight check that.
Go for it.
It covers her mouth and giggles.
Motherfuck!
Damn.
I roll a nat 20 and you still hit a 23. God damn it.
You can. I'll give it to you. You hit the nat 20. You could definitely tell he's lying.
But yeah, he's not trying to hide it by any
Yeah.
means. But still.
What? Okay, I'm just mad about the rolls.
I mean, I'm not gonna take a nat 20 away from you. You can clearly
No,
tell
it's
he's
cool.
lying.
Sigrid, you picked Shocking Grasp? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're also able to do the same thing as your muscle-bound friend here, the other one, the half-orc.
I could feel something slightly different, but I guess that explains what it was.
Well, do use your gifts for good, or don't. Do whatever
Huh?
you want.
How did we
Right.
get these?
Just by subjecting yourself to a ley line and spending some time there, one can open up the senses that might have been previously closed, and it imparts a little bit of its own magic upon people who tend to wander there. Uh, each one's a little different. One might have gain a new resistance to a certain type of element, for example, or perhaps find themselves a little bit more sturdy, or perhaps maybe even, like you've currently seen, more magic. It really just all depends.
Okay.
The ley line areas are strange and unique places that seem almost sentient at times, so maybe it gives you something that might feel aids you on your journey, and maybe it gives you something useful for fun. Who knows?
Hmm.
Any chance we might find out where more are?
Can you repeat that? Your like mic roboted out for me.
Any chance we might find out where more of them are?
Oh well, there's quite a few of them. This plane or others, or I should say, the material plane or others.
Material plane, the Feywild. I don't know what others we plan on visiting. Hells, there may be some in that giant fucking thing that popped out of the ground.
There's none there. Not. It is on the other plane, of course, one of them, but the cave, obviously, as you have seen. There's also the plume, inside the plume specifically, deep inside of the tunnels. Um, Karamogan also has one, I believe. The Dark Eddy is one. Lake of Bones sits on one. Let's see. The Bellows as well. And I believe, um, there's a spot in the Zari Oasis, if I remember correctly.
There's a bit of everywhere then. Seems quite a few of the doors we encountered possibly lead to their general. I wonder.
Well, it makes sense. Like calls to like and all that.
Well, of course, but what if. And I'm sure you know this, so excuse my positing. What if the cave is simply a network between them?
It's possible, but then that doesn't explain why it might lead to other places like someone's latrine. I highly doubt Joe Blow over there, who's taking a dump, is on a ley line.
You never know, but at least some of them.
Ah, magical poops. It definitely leads to some.
Yeah. Anything else, boys?
I can't think of anything else.
I think I
I
got all
don't
the
think so
information
either.
I was after.
Wonderful. Well, if you need something crafted by skilled hands for whatever unique item you might find, perhaps while traveling, or you're just looking for more knowledge, just do let me know. If you could find this place again, you're always welcome.
This is your plane.
It is indeed.
You're magic and powerful, and we're talking about going into people's heads. I know that I said that I don't have any information to trade, but if it's possible and you have any information on whatever that citadel is, the negative energy plane, and whatever creature we might be dealing with, if I would imagine you can, I would allow you into my head to take whatever information you seek.
Ah, see, that is where it gets interesting. One, your friends have already looked up that information for you. Two, I don't take information that isn't freely given. That is just not my thing. I do appreciate the offer, however, and I do thank you, but I won't just rummage around unless it's freely given.
Varys thinks to himself, I did just give you free reign, but he's glancing around at everybody else, not knowing that that stuff was being gathered. Just because he's stuck in his own head.
Mhm.
So I don't think he even replies to that. He just kind of, after glancing around, looks back at Tervalin and kind of lets out a little sigh, drops his head down a little bit, turns around and takes a couple steps back, and then continues it. Like he goes back to looking at his hand. Like after casting the shape water spell, he's been like looking at his hands to see if like he can notice anything different.
Looks like your hands. Well, if that is the conclusion of our interactions, it was Ardengard you wanted me to take you all to, yes?
I believe so. That's what we decided on.
Unless we wanted to go to Silver Rock.
Mm, that's true. Mm. But I think Silver Rock is good because I came across one of the doors to the Silver Rock stables, and everything seemed fine. The horses were still there, and they weren't freaking out. And so that's usually a good sign of things being peaceful. So I think Silver Rock is okay. Though I wouldn't mind going home and seeing how it is. It's up to
Closer
you.
now than we will be again
Have you thought
for
of
some time.
maybe just hiring someone to do a scry for you?
Mm, I have not. Uh,
Eh. Ah. He looks over to Orphinius. Your friend there has the excuse me. God. Your friend there has the capabilities of performing such spells. If you ask him nicely, maybe he might do it for you. I doubt he realizes he's able to do that, but he can.
oh.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Uh, could you, Orphe?
Sure, if you tell me what it means and what I'm doing, I'll help you guys out.
Uh, to be honest, I'm not quite sure what it means myself. I have a basic knowledge of nature sort of spells, but once we start getting into the big deal, I don't know much about them.
Orphinius looks over at you, Amaya.
Scrying, my understanding from seeing Severin do it, is dialing in on a particular location or a person, and you kind of get a small picture, like a window into what's currently happening with them. You can't see very much around them. You can't hear, but you can see.
Oh, that makes sense that I'd be able to do that then.
Yes, it's kind of like spying, dear.
Oh, well, I didn't mean spying. I just meant with the whole Fate Weaver stuff.
Oh, yes, I know, but I'm just saying it's very much like spying.
Oh, no,
And the
don't tell
funny
me
thing
that.
is, oh, come now.
Do they know you're scrying, spying?
So, if a person
Scripying?
has the ability to see invisible things, um, or if they were to extend their senses to see if there's any arcane energy afoot. It's almost like a little ball of light kind of hovering around them, if my understanding is correct. Does that sound about right?
It's a little different for each person because person has magic and whatnot, but the standard is yes, ball of light.
Well, there you are.
I'm gonna get into so much trouble with this spell.
Be mindful, you never know what you'll see. Sometimes it's not exactly what you bargained for.
Ah. You you see there's definitely a thought that crosses his mind. And you see the blush on his ears first. And
Exactly.
and he just looks over at you, Houston, and he goes, yeah, well, we can figure it out together, and, maybe once I get better at it, uh, we can work on it together, and I can test it out for you, and, yeah, we'll just play it by ear.
That sounds good for my little buddy. Do use that power for good. Don't be as young men usually are.
I don't
Use
know
the
what that means.
winks. You know exactly what it means.
Nope.
Okay,
I am too shy and embarrassed to do such things. But I will admit the thought crossed my mind.
Then you do know what I'm talking about then. To be good.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Talking about the fact that you were probably immediately thinking of
Nope, nope,
villain.
nope, No, I was not.
Yes, you
Nope.
were.
No, I was
I
not.
know.
Nope. You can't prove it.
Well, I could, but it would be rude. Give a pat on the shoulder.
He just kind of does like the hands in his pockets kick rock thing.
It's okay, Worfy. Everyone has those thoughts.
Do ants have those thoughts?
Well, given that I believe ants aren't exactly... what's the word? Truly conscious? Probably not. And the fact that they're all run on pheromones set up by a queen.
Have you ever talked to an ant?
I have. It's pretty basic. It's kind of exactly what I said.
Curse you and your stupid nature knowledge. You're so smart.
Less smart, more experience.
Experience is intelligence in its own.
I believe you're right.
I know.
Alright, little smartass.
God, the best part is Orphinius has like the best like knowledge stats I think out of everybody in the group probably.
I think so.
Oh, he's only yeah, he's so fucking weak though. Well, if you guys are enough and done with having your interesting debate, shall I return you to where was it you decided? Was it Silver Rock you were going or someplace else?
I think I was going to Arengard since we can just use the scrying to check there. It's up to the rest of the group, really. What say the rest of you?
Garden guard works for me if you're okay with scrying for Silver Rock.
I'm okay with it, especially after popping a door or two there and sort of seeing what's going on. Sky it was nighttime, but the horses were chill, and that's usually a good sign for me.
Varys isn't even paying attention anymore. He's wandered back over to the basin that Orphinius filled up with water, and he's like just testing out his new shape water spell.
Varys is that kid in the pool that's just playing with the water.
Varys is a waterbender now.
Now he just got to get cantrips for all the other elements, and he could be the avatar.
Let's go.
Take one dip into monk.
Hey, take a couple, and just go the path of the elements or whatever it is.
Oh hell yeah!
Way of the 4 elements.
That's it.
Who needs a bow when you can just launch the arrows as monk weapons?
Oh,
I am the
man.
weapon.
You're a monk and you got an arrow of returning.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
You're welcome.
Quick way
Or
to burn through all your key points, though.
Yeah. Or the multi-shot arrow that explodes into multiple arrows when you shoot it.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a very interesting build to run. Anyway. Well,
We do
Ardengard
have
it is.
that other house that we still have yet to look through. I'm sure there's plenty of goodies there.
What?
Oh, Seven's father's house. You won't be needing it. So we've been given free reign to have a look through. See what we find.
Well, that is, there is protection on that house, which, while I normally could easily break it, that's just too much effort for me. I can put you right outside the city gates. It's safer for everybody that way.
Certainly, I was just offering the to-do list option.
Oh, my apologies. I thought you meant for having me transport you. Whenever you're ready, feel free to, take a walk off the edge and take a plummet down into the library bottom.
Dark
That
just
sounds
goes,
terrifying. Is there any other way that we could do this without feeling like we're gonna plummet to our death?
Yes, but it's
This isn't much of a
exhilarating.
fall.
Dark's gone. He just walked off the edge.
Yeah,
Houston
I'll
just
give
looks over.
Trevelyan a bow and walk off.
Houston just looks over to Kual and just goes, "You're a barbarian. Isn't a thrill part of your whole deal?"
Cannonball! And Orpheus just jumps, leaps, and just cannonballs down.
Oh, Houston, I wasn't talking for myself. He'll like stand against the edge with his toes hanging like his back against the edge and just like swan dive and do a backflip off of it.
Looking Orpheus. Cannonball!
Yusla goes over and just jumps off.
That's a big ass turtle falling through the air.
Arusha, who's been quiet this whole time, walks over to the edge, peeks over, and looks back at what I think Varys and Seagrin still left.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
shall we go?
If Varys still isn't paying attention, which, based on Sloth not saying anything, I'm going to assume he's not, I will, from behind him, use shape water on the water that he's messing with and just like have a hand point in the general direction of the place everyone's going. So you're sitting there animating the water, messing with it, and part of it just reaches up and like points towards us.
And he looks at it curiously for a moment and tries to like reshape it, like take control of the water, but then like it glances over at what it's pointing at. Oh. Right. And he stops what he's doing and walks over to the edge, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We have to. So we just jump.
That's what all their
Apparently
friends
so.
did.
Varys turns around and like walks to the edge with just his toes, like his heels are hanging off, and then puts his arms out to the side and just falls back like a trust fall, but just falls.
That's what they made us do when we did skydiving.
Sounds terrifying.
This is how
That
it
was
really
super fun.
gets us to TPK ourselves.
I hold my hand out like after you to her.
She takes your hand and
I
pulls you in as she drums.
okay, that works too.
As you guys are falling, she kind of looks at you and she goes, "First rule, dear, never extend your hand to somebody that you're unfamiliar with."
I just kind of like shrug as we're falling. Like, I was going in right after you anyway.
Yes, well, it's much more fun this way. So those of you who went first,
Con saves.
you guys take. No, I'm just kidding. The actual pit itself that the library is made off of, you guys pass by these like various platforms. You see creatures from different planes that most of you have no idea what these creatures even are. They're strange. There's some that when you look at them, your brain isn't even able to like comprehend what you're seeing with like the very shifting and just the weird form of the creatures. Um, you see people in hoods, people in robes, a lot of things with wings, horns, insect-like creatures, just various things, and just books, books, books. And the further down you go, the darker it starts getting until eventually you don't see any platforms anymore and the walls fade away into just darkness. And it feels like you're falling through the darkness for quite some time. And while you're falling pretty quickly, it doesn't feel like an impending, like you're gonna splat, essentially. There's the rush of warmth that kind of hits you for a split second of air that rushes up from the bottom and kind of goes over your bodies. And you see a light. And as the bright light kind of subsides, you see the ground of the earth, grass outside of Arngard, and the cityscape as you guys are essentially falling from the sky towards the outskirts of the city. You can see the various crater marks now. Um, a lot better than what you would normally on the ground with how it is. If you'd like to switch to Arngard map, you can. Doesn't really matter. You see the burned, charred remains of the um, outskirts that were destroyed from the impact of the craters, where the fire has ravaged the farms. You see the total damage of just the in general surrounding area that's just completely changed and pocked this landscape. And as you get closer and closer to the ground, your falling speed slows until you halt gently and then land on your feet, or in some cases your ass, in Onofri's cases. In Orphinius's case, rather. But eventually all of you find purchase on the ground one way or the other.
That was kind of fun.
Can we do it again?
You should try diving off a 500-foot tower. Not quite as fun a landing.
Well, that was a quick way back.
Not different than just teleporting on top of it.
So before we get into the city, I believe we do have one manner of business to discuss. The Queen sent us for the ring. We have the ring. The last two things that we delivered returned to us. Do we even tell her that we have it? What's the point?
We don't have just the ring. Varys turns. We also have Arusha.
Well, this is true, but I don't really know. Arusha, do you? You've been locked away for some time.
Yes,
What is it you want to do?
Enjoy a nice hot bath.
Yeah, that can absolutely be arranged.
I wasn't expecting any further hospitality beyond what you've already given me, of course, but if you know where I can get a bath, I would greatly appreciate at least being told where.
You can come with me back to the manor. You're welcome for as long as you'd like to stay.
Well, if that is the case, then I appreciate your continued hospitality.
So, thoughts in the ring?
Well, if I remember correctly, I believe the queen, she didn't really say that we had to, like, do anything. She just told us that we were going to get it for ourselves, because she wanted us to have all the items. So, I mean, maybe let her know that, yay, we didn't die on the way there.
There's also a chance that she knows the location of more.
That's
true.
true. Aha, jinx. You owe me an ale.
No.
Yeah.
Why not? You never let me have any fun.
Zigon's the reasonable one of the group. If you want to have fun, you'll have to ask one of the others. Varys is normally right along there with him.
I don't know. I think I can hold my alcohols really well.
All of them. Right.
Every single one of them.
Someone who calls them alcohols must really hold on to them very well.
Hey, I had some Fey wine while I was in the Fey, okay?
There's
That
no
was...
chain vomiting.
It was... different.
That it is. So why don't we all get cleaned up and presentable? And then go see the queen? Thoughts?
Do we have to? Can't we just send her, like, a letter?
I'm going to the cat. I'm gonna go see if I can find Luna. If she's not there, I'll check the palace.
Would you like me to send her a message? Save you some time?
She can't reply.
Well, yes, but I can at least tell her where you're going. Tell her a place to meet you, perhaps?
It's all right. I appreciate it.
You want some company?
I was gonna say that.
I'm
Or
good.
Phineas, if both of us...
Thank you.
I was going to say, if both of us are gone, then who's going to be there to be reasonable for you? But looks like you're stuck with me.
Oh, darn. Anyway.
Varys kind of smirks at Orphinius's "oh darn" as he's turning around to like start walking into the city.
I honestly didn't hear what you said. Did Varys say yes or no to the company?
No, he said he was good.
Okay. Well, just, write our safe word in the sky somehow if you need help.
Varys sticks his hand up. Yeah, Varys sticks his hand up like he's waving backwards, like acknowledging that I heard him. Yes, pickle.
Pickle. That sounds really good. I'm hungry. Let's go get cleaned up and eat. Please.
Sounds good to me.
Sorry, that was like really bossy of me.
Suits you.
Taking charge now?
Nothing wrong with being a little assertive once in a while. If you don't say what you want, people won't know. And people keep telling me that from time to time. But
Yeah, but like I don't like travel with you guys all the time, so like while I'm like part of the group, I'm not part of the group. You know what I mean? And we're walking. Say what to check to put the other thing. Ah. Where's your guys' token? Are you guys so Varys is heading to the cat, the rest of you are heading back to the manor?
Suppose so.
Okay, nice. So we will start with Varys first. It takes you like no time to get back. The cat is still fairly packed with people who are on their lunch breaks and whatnot, and um, from like nearby workers who are helping rebuild the area.
What is the general feel like walking through the city back to the Curious Cat? What is the general feel that I get from just people around town? And is the now Citadel visible from here?
Oh yeah, 100% still visible. The general feel while you're walking, minus the slight like people whispering amongst themselves about the Citadel just in passing. Uh, Overall, the general feel is surprisingly fairly hopeful for the most part. At least in terms of like city life goes, in terms of rebuilding and figuring things out. A lot of the buildings are already underway for repair. You see more people from the temple out and about in like delegating up areas and jobs and getting things situated. You see some druids who are helping with um, rebuilding and taking care of like food and medicine and whatnot, and just doing rounds around. You see a couple of them who you would recognize to be from the sect that worships your god, handing out bread to people and just making sure that nobody's really going hungry or at the moment with bare bones basics of what they can spare, but still getting the job done at least.
I think as he passes by a couple of them, he might like do a just like a brief pause and a hand on the shoulder and like a nod. And then
Uh, they notice the symbol hanging around your neck to give you a knowing nod.
finally get into the Curious Cat.
It's bustling. Hugh is there. He's serving up ales and keeping it coming. Um, you guys have spent enough time here that you would know like the color of like the house ale essentially. It looks like he's been watering it down to make it stretch longer. But at this point nobody really cares enough. It's just they're just glad to have something warming them up and like in their stomach and whatnot. Takes the edge off and whatnot. But he sees you enter and gives you a nod while he serves up a handful of ale to a table nearby.
Hey,
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back.
is Luna around?
If she's been in, I haven't noticed. We've been kind of busy. Go back and check. If the door like to her hallway is locked, then she's out. But feel free to go back and check.
Thanks, you. And I'll walk back through the kitchen.
Oh, before you leave, I will let you know that all the rooms are taken right now, so I hope you have somewhere else to stay. If not, we can always fix you up at the stables if need be.
Oh, that's quite all right. I think I've got some other options now. Thank you, though.
course, always here to help.
And then through the door into the kitchen. Through the kitchen into the back.
Easy enough. The kitchen, just the two staff that are always there. They give you nods and like bustle around you, and they're not really talking right now. They're in the process of just cooking. But you head on back to the door that leads to Luna's, and it is locked.
Look around. I'm trying to think because I don't have the cat map. I think it's just a solitary hallway back there.
Yeah. It's the
So
hallway. It's like a random hallway, and then her like back room area.
give a soft knock on the door.
Knock. Wait a few seconds. A little bit more. No reply.
From here, I'm trying to think now. From here, do I have to go back out into the mainstay, or was there another way out from here? I think wasn't there a? Isn't this hall connected to where the stables are at?
No. So the mainstay connects to the stables.
That's right.
There is a pantry on this side, though.
Okay. I knock a little bit harder.
Okay. Knock a little bit louder. Wait a few minutes. Nothing.
And he said if the door's locked, she's probably not there.
Yep.
Okay. I will turn around and head back through the kitchen and back out. In coming out of the kitchen, passing through, probably say to you, door's locked, so I assume she's out. I'm gonna go check the palace.
Well, I will let her know that you came looking for her. She pops in.
Appreciate it to you. And give a wave and walk out the front doors. But instead of heading off towards the palace, I'm gonna walk around the building to the opposite side where the windows are for the room that I was staying in, because there's a window on the outside of her room as well. And I want to peek inside.
Memento, I accidentally closed the cat map. There we go. Here. All player. Save changes. There you go. Just so you have a visual. Easy enough to do. So you walk and take the time to go over there. You peer in through the window, and it's kind of hard to see because she keeps them usually um fairly closed and secluded, so people can't just peep in. Um, but there is a little break in the curtains that you're able to see, and you see her treasure pile, looking as it always is. The area by the fireplace. Kind of turn around, and it's dark in there, so you don't see anything. Here, I'll move your token.
Thank you. I was trying to get around it. It was like wall collision, wall collision. Yeah, so I guess so long as he doesn't see her in there, that's satisfaction enough for him. And then I will go to the palace to apparently meet up with everybody else over there, I guess.
Okay, so you're heading to the palace, picking up with the rest of you, heading to the manor?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just double checking. So the manor is currently unattended by the host, essentially. Like, there's still the staff there working, but the Brain, hello. Severin isn't there. Malakin and Rain are not there. Farah is still there, however, and there is an attendant who is taking care of her right now.
Oh, everybody went to the manor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still going to the palace first.
It's fine. As you guys approach the manor and start entering, Arusha stops at the entryway.
Something wrong?
Well, unfortunately, you have to invite me in.
Oh,
Public places is not an issue, but for private property, we tend to have to be let in.
Oh,
I am sorry. I wasn't sure if that was just folklore or not. Please come in. You're welcome until told otherwise.
You kindly. She steps on in, gives a deep breath, and so long since I've been in a place that isn't a mirror room.
why do they have you in a room full of mirrors, anyways?
Well, I. How much did you tell them? She looks at you, Sigrun.
Not much, honestly.
Ah, well, see, I, um, very, very old, first and foremost. Uh, one of the earlier of my kind. And I didn't quite like the direction that a lot of my fellow vampires were taking. A lot of them were doing things that I don't agree with, and so I took it upon myself to essentially eliminate them. They didn't like that too much, and so they locked me away after betraying me.
Oh, well, good on you. Glad you're out. I assume you're probably going to pick up where you left off on that.
Well, I mean, it's not like I really age, so I have hopefully a few hundred years to worry about getting back into doing that. I first need to figure out if the two who betrayed me are even still alive. And then, if I figure out that they are, I'll formulate a plan and go from there. No need to rush.
I sure do love a good old revenge story.
Yes. Now I just need to figure out how. I'd like to carry it out when the time comes.
That is the fun part, isn't it?
I could bring the wrath of the sun down upon them and burn them alive, but that just seems quick and easy.
You could always make it fun. Create a bit of overcast, make them sit and just slowly fry.
I could. Ooh,
We could bounce ideas off each other. Quite like that.
idea taking what your came up with. Up north, where it's the seasons get a little days longer or shorter depending on the time of the year. Could always chain them up in a room and during the season when the sun starts finally rising after a few years. Well,
Another
moon
idea.
windows, but for sun windows instead.
I like that. I like that. But building on the overcast idea, passing small bouts of rain. Let them burn, put them out, let them burn again.
Ah, now
That
here's
could
where it
go on
gets
for
interesting
days.
though. The problem with that is that some of us, being that we're earlier and whatnot, don't have. Well, one of them, that one, the running water one doesn't bother.
No, I was just saying you let them burn and then the rain puts them out and then you dismiss the rain and it starts all over again.
Ah, well, running water is actually harmful to my kind, some of them at least.
double-edged sword then.
That pain sounds excruciating. I like it.
Just remind me to never piss the two of you off.
Well, I wasn't
So
known
I
as the
would
best
never.
vampire hunter for a reason.
So, let me show you to one of the rooms that you can take up, and you'll have your own private bath. You can get comfortable.
Perfect. She follows you.
I'll excuse myself from the boys.
I'm going to the kitchen.
Just ask the staff for whatever you need. Be nice to them.
Oh, I was just
Ulog will go with
gonna.
Orphinius.
I wasn't gonna. I was just gonna. Okay. You want to raid the pantry?
Yes, that sounds fantastic. I'm starving.
Me too. Let's go. He takes you by like the wrist essentially and like starts going down one hallway, realizes he doesn't know where he's going, and then like turns down another hallway. And you guys are going in circles for a little bit until eventually you find the kitchen and the staff are there and uh he doesn't even say anything to them. He just walks into the pantry and starts like pulling stuff out. The person in charge of the kitchen right now is like, no, 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 put that, no, that's for, no, no, stop, stop, stop. And starts like taking things from Orphinius, but Orphinius like just keeps piling stuff in as the person's taking stuff out of his hands. Quick, grab that and just book it. No, 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 we will not be doing that. I can make you food if you guys are hungry.
The answer to that is absolutely. But we could probably eat enough for 3 people each. There will probably need to be lots of food.
That's perfectly fine. I mean, we weren't planning on you guys being back so soon, but we can definitely cook a nice dinner for everybody. That will be actually filling than just eating a whole bunch of raw ingredients. Why are you carrying just a whole pound of walnuts? Just give me the bag. Takes the walnut bag from Orphinius, and Orphinius pops one from the bag before it gets fully taken away and shoves it into his pocket.
Well, Orphinius, that was a valiant attempt at least. What can we eat in the meantime before dinner? Like a pre-dinner dinner, if you will.
Ah, yes. Well, we do have some fruit that can hold you over: apples, bananas, lots of berries, cheeses and
Or
breads, dried meats, if that's more your thing.
That sounds perfect. I'll take all your stock.
Unfortunately, no. You can have some of it, and you will obey by the rules of my kitchen, or you will be forced to leave.
Okay, I would could I get some dried beef from you?
Meow.
Sorry.
Was that Juliet?
That's my daughter.
She sounds like a cat.
She's at the top of the stairs.
Oh, I was like, this cat doesn't have a cat. He's allergic.
Wait a darn second.
Yes, you can. I'll get you some salted beef or pork or whatever, but you will not just. We have some. I need to order more. Just don't eat all of it, please.
I will try to not eat all of it.
He shakes his head and starts pulling out some food for you guys to eat. Orpheus is already just like popping berries into his mouth. What are the rest of you doing? Dark, Hustel, Seagern?
Useless gonna find a bath.
That's easy enough to do.
Dark is just gonna find the nearest like big window and just kind of either sit or stand and kind of look out at it.
Okay, old man.
Yep.
Got a coffee mug in your hand?
Yes.
Is Dark cosplaying me?
Yes.
Get off the lawn! Jesus.
I'm going to go relatively quickly, get cleaned up and like changed into clean clothing, and then come back and just wait for people.
Okay, easy enough to do. So while you guys are doing that, easy enough to do. We'll pop back over to Varys really quick. Varys, you make your way to the palace. Um, you go to approach at the gates, and while the guards recognize you, they stop you from entering. Apologies. Right now there are to be no visitors. The queen has a official council going on, and unfortunately, no outsiders are allowed in at the moment for safety reasons, just as precaution. You can check back later tomorrow, and we will let her know that you stopped by.
Right. Special counsel. Are there ambassadors from other areas?
Yes. We did have a guest arrive from Aratus Point. I believe also the scouting party that she sent recently over to that strange, weird storm dome, or whatever it was, has returned as well.
That was my home. And it's not a
He
storm
kinda-
anymore. It's a citadel.
I am aware
Sorry.
of that. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Apologies. I'll check back later. And he turns and starts walking away. Trying to get to a point where I would be out of their vision. And I want to sneak around and see if there's a way that I can get inside.
Okay. There definitely is a few places that you can sneak in, specifically at the crater impact points. They are guarded, but you can definitely attempt to sneak in if you would like to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll me stealth.
Stealth.
Okay. As far as you know, you were hidden. So you make your way up to the nearest crater first, the smaller one, and it's in the process of still kind of like being repaired and cleaned up, but uh, you see some guards patrolling the area, and you wait a few minutes and watch to see if they have any like patterns or routes that they're taking, and start making your way in. Oh. As you start approaching the edge of the like where the wall starts breaking down, and you kind of peek your head in, one of the guards uh was, "Hey, no, no civilians beyond this point. You're going to have to vacate the premise, please."
Right. Apologies. Sorry. I'll be on my way. Turn around. From where I'm at, do I see, like, I guess I don't know where I'm at, and what I can see exactly from there, but I guess I'm looking to see if there's any, but well, no, nobody came back with Luna. Her entire squad was wiped out.
Yep.
So is it just like mostly guards patrolling outside then?
Yeah.
Do I see is like the director's carriage anywhere? Like I'm just trying to get an idea of like who might all be in here.
Ah, okay. So there definitely are carriages in the like main courtyard area, which you'd be able to see. You definitely see the director's carriage. You see, a carriage that has the like house sigil essentially of like Aratus Point, which it's general knowledge. Like if you see a well-to-do carriage, like oh that's the royal carriage or whatever. Like people know that. You kind of have to know that so you don't piss off the nobles essentially. Um, so you see one from Aratus Point. You see one which you would now know, having been there, a carriage from Greenwood. Um, you see some from uh, do, 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 one that you're not familiar with, and it kind of has um, it's this shield that has a like saber across it with a what looks to be some sort of lizard on like the decal. We're not entirely sure whose sigil that is or where it's from. And then you see some other ones from various other smaller houses that you're not really familiar with that aren't like super well known. Um, so there's a couple people here.
Okay, yeah, I just take note, like taking as much information as I can, as I am told to turn around and head back out. I think probably with that, I will head toward the manor to meet up with everybody else.
Okay. Easy enough. So after you guys finish either getting food or cleaning up, Varys shows up a little bit later, but eventually you guys all reconvene together.
Did you find Luna?
No, she wasn't at the cat, but she may be in the palace. There's some special quorum going on, meeting with the queen. Nobody's allowed inside right now. I tried to sneak in. There were too many guards, but I did see the director's cart in there, along with something that looked like from Aratus Point. So I'd imagine somebody from there, somebody from Greenwood. Another cart that had some sword and shield emblem with a lizard thing on it. Not sure where that's from. But if Luna's in the city, she's probably in that meeting. I said to come back later. Anyways, I should probably, and he like looks down at himself and like takes note of how disheveled and dirty he is in comparison to everybody that's already cleaned up. I should probably go freshen up. Might make me feel a little bit better as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still getting situated and cleaned up. If Ashura is like anywhere near my size, offer her some clothes to change into.
Um, that's a good question. I didn't write anything around that, so we'll just say that she's roughly around my size, just to make things easy.
Sure. So offer her some, stuff to change into, make sure she's comfy and set up. Leave her to do her cleanup. Go do my own, then go down to the dining area.
Yeah, at this point, you would uh see Varys kind of giving the information here as you approach what he's talking about.
Did you say a swords and a snake?
Yeah, a snake or a lizard or I don't know. It was a big shield that had like a sword or a saber or something, and there was some reptilian creature.
Curious.
I've never seen it before. I don't know.
Well, they're rarely seen anywhere near this far north. That house hails from the Dread Dunes. Port Port Coulee, if I recall correctly. I may be saying that wrong. And they
Dragoons
were
are all the way
here.
very far southwest, I believe.
I've never been that far myself, but and
I
it's
think I've
fairly
only
well
ever
known
seen it
to
on a map. I know
Southerners.
I've never been there.
Yeah, it's fairly well known to Southerners that they rarely leave their stead. If they're here, then something serious is going on.
I would imagine it's a meeting to discuss not just the sky falling down, but also the the massive citadel.
Right, but what I'm saying is if the Queen has called in the houses, I'm not especially familiar with, how those things work here. It seems there's some call to action, maybe, in the works. Or perhaps just a discussion of concern, who knows?
I mean, could be a little bit of both. All I know is
Oh,
nobody was allowed in. I tried to sneak in, and that's all that I was able to see.
well, I mean, she is the High Queen. She does rule over this entire whole everything, you know.
Right, but what I'm saying is if she called them in, then anyone else it wouldn't have really struck me as odd, but um someone that never leaves their home coming in. I mean, they wouldn't have done it voluntarily, I doubt. And you said
We
they
want to
wouldn't let you
send.
in.
No, I mean the guards recognized me when I got there, and they stopped me immediately and said nobody was allowed in, that they were having a special council.
Hmm.
So then I tried to sneak around where one of the walls had come down from the sky falling, and there's too many guards inside, so whatever's going on is certainly important. And I would imagine with, well, the guards did say come back later, so I'm gonna.
Would it be worth sending Luna a message, even if she can't respond? Can at least let her know that we're here and where we'll be.
Probably not a bad idea. I am planning on heading back to the palace after I get cleaned up here.
It might have been safer to let me stay in my mirror prison at this point, if I'm hearing all of you correctly with sky falling and whatnot.
Oh, yes, it's been an interesting last couple of months.
Seems like it. Well, I am indebted to you all, so if I can be of any service with whatever, do let me know.
Much
You're
appreciated.
a vampire. Are you familiar with blood magics?
I am. I can do a good chunk of it myself. Minor stuff, nothing too crazy. I can set your blood a boil if need be, but that's
Does the
kind of the extent
name
of it.
Lena mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not.
Hmm.
Not really. Um, should it?
Oh, well, she's the one that tried to pull the moon down and the sky started falling, so
I'm
all
sorry,
of the
could you
craters.
repeat that? She what?
We slit our throats, collected our blood, and used it in a spell that both pulled the moon closer to Efos itself, or Efos closer to the moon. It depends on your perspective, I suppose. And the sky fell. Quite literally, all of the craters and things that you saw around as we were making our way in.
Oh, that's right, she did.
She was an actor. There was someone else behind her. Had to be. That's godly level magic. It's not something that just anyone can do. I mean, that seems obvious. Question we've yet to answer is who and why.
Well, I don't know if my talents will be particularly useful for that. Unfortunately, I'm good in a fight and I'm good at torturing.
Have you ever fought a lich by chance?
No, but I've always wanted to.
Well, then you might be able to assist us when the time comes.
Splendid. I do look forward to that. Does that mean I get to come fight a lich with you too?
Mm, we'll see.
What? You know I'm the best fighter out of everyone here. I can kill so many things at once.
Or Phineas, if we're going up against that guy, I'd much rather have you at our side than not.
I
That's
agree.
true.
I agree with Varys.
All hands on deck situation there.
Plus, you might get to kill a few things.
I think
Is
he'll
it really
kill a
killing
lot
if
of
they're already
things.
technically dead?
That's
How
kind
does
of
that work?
You're just
Driving.
reinstating the death.
driving the nail in a little bit further.
Think of it like giving them a true death. They may have died, but they're not actually dead, so you're truly killing them.
We do technically have an expert on literally that subject as I gesture towards Arusha.
Yes, I
Is
am
it really
quite
killing?
the yes and no. So some undead do have the ability to come back if you don't properly take care of their body once you put them down. Some vampires, for example, stake through the heart, or you destroy their coffin, or burn them. Um, it depends really on the certain type. Like some can only die if you kill them properly with a certain type of damage, whether it be fire, holy, whatever.
Is the whole thing with garlic true, or is that just a, I guess, rumor?
Would you like to find out?
Shit, I didn't think about that. I hope they didn't cook anything with garlic.
She's still waiting on your answer, Dark.
Dark'll contemplate it, not say anything, and just walk out of the room to go to the kitchen. He's going to find some garlic.
Easy enough. You managed to find a clove of garlic, or a head of garlic rather.
He
As
walks-
when Dark turns to walk away, that's when Varys probably goes, "Well, I'm gonna go clean up and try to clear my mind. I want to get back before the council lets out." And
Will
then
they even let you
walks off
in?
to go clean up. No, but I want to be there when they all come out.
Typically, from my understanding, when nobles have their little get-togethers, it's usually whoever's hosting hosts the people overnight, as is custom. I don't know if it's still done that way.
Well, I guess we do have a little bit of a bargaining chip in the fact that we do have the ring now.
If it's anything like at home, it'll be there'll be a while. Probably not quite as fun, but I would say maybe if things are done the same, checking in tomorrow may be better. Plus, I doubt with so many noble houses in one place, they'll let anyone in. Security, safety measures. Imagine if the
Oh,
wrong
it's-
person got in.
Fairly secure right now.
No, right, but if we
Anyways, I believe
learned
a
anything from the ball,
bath is in order for me.
Best bet of getting in without sneaking in is probably let Luna know we're here, and if the queen wants us to come join, then we'll be sent for. Otherwise, just wait it out, I suppose.
As Varys is walking away to go find a bath to get cleaned up in, he will holler back. Yes, send her a message. Let her know we're here.
I can do that.
Fucking Orpheus.
remember, Orphe, 25 words. Keep it concise.
Hello, Luna. It's nice to talk to you again.
Oh, no.
Although it was very one-sided. How are you? We're here at the manor and safe home. "25 words.
Got there in the
I
end.
love how he
These little-
slowed down in the middle of it to make sure he was okay.
Practicing. Very good. Once Varys is well out of earshot, like once he's upstairs, kind of gonna look around to everyone else, and Maya's gonna put her hands on her hips. I'm worried about him.
Very.
Hello,
Never
are
seen
you
him
like down
so-
a tunnel?"
I've never seen him so melancholy. I mean, for obvious reasons, but there's nothing to do about it right now. How can we help him? Any ideas?
As she finishes that sentence, Dark returns to the room. Not sure how we can help him, but here you go. And he tosses the garlic in Arush's direction.
She catches it, takes a clove out, and just takes a bite. Delicious.
She just ate raw garlic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Raw garlic's delicious. What do you mean? Mosquitoes don't bother you when you have a whole clove of garlic.
True.
By itself, it's so strong.
That's so good. Garlic girls.
Mosquitoes would be good for her because then she could kill them and drink the human blood that they've taken, right?
That'd be so like many mosquitoes.
Yes,
She's
it
just
would.
sitting there milking mosquitoes.
Oh, milking
Aw.
mosquitoes. Oh my god. I'd like to have your finest vintage of mosquito milk, please.
Oh no!
How was the kitchen looking? Are they close to being ready, or do we have a bit?
Smelled amazing. I could only assume that it's close to being done.
Oh, good.
So, touching back to Varys, how does one help somebody whose entire home was transported to another plane of existence?
I guess the best thing we could do is just be there for him. Help him get his revenge, essentially.
Long term, I think the plan is to just bring his home back.
How
Short term.
do we do that?
I think we have to find a way to send the Citadel back to the negative energy plane.
I'm really confident with my magic, and I'm learning a lot of stuff that I can do. I don't know if I can do that.
I can banish a single creature if it's weak enough, certainly not an entire citadel.
I wonder if we take him down, if it sends the whole citadel back. So I would imagine it's probably his power keeping it there.
Certainly, but a creature that powerful, I would certainly beyond my means. And it would have to be a frigid day in the hells. I don't know about you or Phineas, but I'm not confident in my ability to do that at all.
I
Probably
can
not
at
even
least
both
take
of us
some of them
together.
with me when I go down. But,
No, no going down for you.
well,
Anyway, I want to do something for him. Even if it's to make him feel the slightest bit better, even if it's just a sliver of light. And I don't know what it is. So any ideas are welcome.
If I may, and I know it's not really my place to speak since I don't know you all, but have you ever considered maybe he doesn't want to feel better? Sometimes people's processing of situations that seem impossible are just allowing themselves to seethe, as long as it doesn't get to an unhealthy level, of course. Then you can step in, but maybe giving him time to process that in what makes sense for him might be better.
If this was a movie, there'd be a short cut to Varys lying in the bath, playing with the shape water spell, creating the citadel, and then watching it crumble and doing that over and over in the bathtub.
Beautiful.
Crying while fucking standing
Rocking
on
back
the
and forth.
page before you.
Oh,
Open
keep
up the
that scene in mind
dirty
for the book.
window.
It's the unhealthy bit that I'm worried about. And I agree. Sometimes people just need to feel what they need to feel. Wouldn't try to take that from him.
I wasn't meaning to insinuate that you were, but uh, has he done anything that seems like he is in danger to someone else or yourselves or himself, or how recently did this happen?
Well, he did charge headlong into the cave when we knew nothing about it.
Clearly seeing that it was enchanted, we couldn't see into it, and he didn't care. It's very unlike him. He's not normally reckless.
Hmm.
Therein lies my concern.
Then here, how about this? I think that a sit down with him might be best, and don't bombard him, but just gently tell him that while we can't understand how you're feeling, we are here for you in whatever capacity you need. Simple, short, to the point. Lets him know that if he needs you, you're here for him, but not putting it in a way that makes it overbearing in the moment while he's still processing, if that you will.
sense.
What was that?
Makes sense.
Oh, I thought you said that's and then just cut off.
Makes sense.
When you lived as long as I have, you've learned how to deal with many temper tantrums and grieving people and many unique situations. I do hope you are able to figure out a way to help your friend, however. I do genuinely mean that. She takes another bite of garlic.
I'm kind of amazed you can do that. Not because you're a vampire, but because it's so pungent.
Oh, I like the taste.
Don't get me wrong, I like garlic as much as the next person, but a clove, I don't think I could do that.
Are you
It
ever
tends-
concerned with the way your breath smells afterwards? Like if you were
No, it keeps
to
people
hug
away.
somebody. Understandable.
Fun fact, a good way to get rid of the garlic smell is a little bit of lemon juice, actually. The acidity helps break it down.
Or prestidigitation.
Not a spell in my repertoire, I'm afraid.
Very useful.
I should definitely try to learn it at some point. You'd think after all these years I would, but... Oh, I am disappointed that I didn't spend my time studying.
You have nothing but time now, so
I've had nothing but time in that mirror room, and yet all I did was sit.
a little more freedom, a little more input from outside sources. So, if the meal's about ready, the dining area's right over that way. Arisha, can I speak with you in private?
Of course. She heads off with you wherever you take her.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lead her into like one of the little side like parlor areas with doors.
Mhm.
So forgive me if I'm being rude, but as your hostess, um, I realize that you did indeed say that you don't really need to eat the same things that we do. So, what are you planning on doing for your own sustenance?
Ah, yes. Well, I can always go off and see about, I don't know, finding somebody who might be interested. Not just going to go out hunting and take it from people. That's not my thing, but I'm sure I could find somebody.
Yes, well, about that, I do have a question. Is it true that one could become like your progeny simply from being bitten?
Ah, yes and no. For me, I have to actually. It's a little more involved.
Oh. Well, Amai's gonna roll up her sleeve and pull up one of her daggers.
Ah, no, no, no. Um, if you are offering, I would prefer that you have your meal first. One, it's better for you, and two, it just tastes better for me as well.
Uh, well, I am offering. Um, Again, I feel obligated, if not also willing, as your hostess.
I do
Been
greatly
locked away
appreciate
for
that.
a while, and I know very well what it's like to be hungry.
You are very kind. Not many would be so. I thank you.
Don't tell anyone. About the kind part, I don't care about anything else.
I have no one to tell.
Yes, well, we all have appearances to keep up.
Your secret's safe with me, don't worry.
Well, will you be joining us, or would you like to meander?
I think I'll be joining you. It's only polite after all. I don't know. I would like to get to know you all better. I mean, you did rescue me. It's only fair that I know my rescuers, if you will. Plus, I'm finding you all very fascinating.
Fair enough. So, shall we?
Oh, I hope it's not too much trouble, but if you guys are going to be having dinner, I wouldn't mind a glass of wine. I do partake in alcohol, of course, but it's been so long since I've had a nice glass.
I think we can do that. I've built quite a collection.
Oh, wonderful. And she follows you into the dining room.
Yeah. Sorry, boys. Had to powder our noses.
Why do girls always go pee together?
The buddy system thing gives us someone to talk to. Safety because we want to. I don't know.
Good enough for me. Why don't he like looks to the rest of you guys? Why don't we ever go to the bathroom together?
I personally don't like talking when I'm doing my business.
It's like the unspoken rule of gentlemen. We don't really speak to each other while we have our
Why?
genitals in our hands.
Well, that's just no fun. I don't mind talking to other people while never mind. No, you know what? That just some things are just meant not for dinner table talk.
I think one person at the table would be less than shy. Eye dark.
Or Phineas also eyes dark.
I'm definitely not one to shy away from conversation.
I'm going to get along with you very well. I have a feeling.
Oh, of course, after you finish your roast session of me and my initiation is finished.
I can't fucking hear you, Chewie. You are so quiet. You sound
Yep.
like you're like in the back of your room.
Roasting you. It's no kind of initiation. Not really, anyway. Not yet.
Well, Phineas seems to like to initiate in ways of making me feel like I don't belong.
Oh, that's not it. It's not that I make you feel like you don't belong. That's not the goal. I just pick on you because you're new.
Ah, the FNG status, I see.
I don't know what that means.
I'm the fucking new guy.
I've never heard that before, but I'm going to use it now.
You're welcome.
Dark, don't be silly. You belong wherever I am, remember? I gave him a cheeky grin.
Dark smiles back. Goldfish. Sorry, that's what that reminded me of.
Darkassin smiles back.
Smiles back.
Oh my god. I mean, he is a snack,
Dark
though.
is a snack.
I was just gonna say that.
That's it. That's Dark's tagline for the rest of the campaign. The snack that smiles back.
The snack that smiles back. Darkassin.
Well, this food looks pretty good. I'm pretty hungry. And he just starts eating.
I will make a point to thank all of the staff individually by name.
They
'Cause I know
appreciate your
how
thanks.
important they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very small staff, very personal. But they appreciate your thanks and essentially tell you if you need us,
Just holler for us. Very not formal, just relaxed.
I'm going to wait for Varys before I start eating.
Seeing that you're waiting, Orpheus is like mid bite. He's like, "Oh, I didn't realize we were waiting, but that makes sense." And he puts his fork back down. Maybe someone should go get him. Actually, let him know dinner's ready.
Yeah, Varys is still chilling in a hot bath, and like he keeps doing the thing with the Citadel where he creates it and then crumbles it, creates it and crumbles it, and then he stops and lets the water still for a minute, and then his mind starts to wander a little bit, and he shapes the water again. This time, it looks like Ardengard, and then it changes to an image of Barbafa, and then Absolution, and then the Whisperwood tree, and then Ed. And at that, the water splashes back down into the rest of the tub, and he looks over at Ed sitting on the chair. And in his head, Ed.
Ed in the head.
Oh no.
Sorry. You hear the usual snore kind of lull in. Hmm, eh. What is it?
Is that all you do is sleep?
There's nothing else for me to do. Of course, other than keep you protected.
Right. How do you protect an entire forest?
Well, there's plenty of protection magic and there's
How do you
wards.
save people that may already be gone?
Well, there is a spell that can summon things to you and people. The gate spell. It's fairly powerful, but there are people that can do it. Only one at a time, unfortunately, but it is can be done.
You sleep because there's nothing to do. What do you do?
Well, I beg your pardon, but I make sure that you don't take life-sustaining injuries if I can help it, and I. What the fuck does he do? Hold on. Uno momento while I look up. Fucking.
He gives
I
advantage
was-
on stealth checks, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Make you stealthier, and there's other things as well.
Other things like what? Did you have some other powers when the heroes had you at their side?
Mm, maybe I'm not entirely sure. It's like I think. I think
And that's when the knock comes in from Sigrun. Who is it?
It's Sigrun. I'm just letting you know that food's ready, and yeah.
All right, I'll be out in a moment.
Okay.
And he
I'll just
looks-
wait in the hallway a few
he
steps
looks
away.
down into the to the bathwater again, and with one last shape water, it comes up. It's just a small sphere of water, and then it turns into the head and face of the lich that was riding the spectral dragon. And he clasps his fingers into his palm like he's crushing it, and then the water like explodes and spatters down back into the tub, some splashing onto the floor. And then he gets up and cleans up and opens the door to walk out and meet everybody for food. With Ed now back around his chest, snoring in his head.
As we're walking back down. So feel any better?
Feel cleaner. Definitely been a while since I've had a warm bath.
You know that's not what I was asking about.
Well, let me answer your question with a question. What if it was the Greenwood that was replaced with that citadel? How would you feel?
Not great, though. Honestly, probably. I would feel like they would be in better hands than your home is. Which is not saying much. Most of the people there, well, I'm sure it wouldn't be fun, have at least some experience.
With a lord of the negative energy plane.
With other planes in general. Like I said, it wouldn't be much better. But I suppose that does answer my question.
Right, so what's for dinner?
A whole lot of stuff, though for some reason slightly less meat than I was expecting as we enter the room.
Kulog looks up while he's eating the meat and he's like, oh. Huh? Oh, you want some? He'll like slowly hand some to Sigrun.
Kulog, you already bit off of that.
Oh, it's so good. You should try it.
Don't worry, Varys. I made you a plate. And Dark will pat the seat next to him.
Wow, Kulog, I didn't know you were so good at handling meat.
Dark perks up.
He'll like stop and just like look up at Orphinius and shake his head.
Listen, you set yourself up for that one.
What did Dark prepare on my plate for me?
Just grabbed a normal looking plate to make sure Kulog didn't eat it all. Just a little bit of everything that was brought to the table.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't need to do that, and he gives Dark a silent nod and starts not really eating, but like picking at what's on the plate.
I know the past few days have not been easy. Figured a nice gesture would go a long ways.
Varys pats him on the shoulder and just says, "Thank you."
Give me a second, I'm reading something.
Well, while we're all in one place, did you end up finding anything any useful information, Amaya?
I found quite a bit, actually. I'm not sure if we ended up both looking at all the same things, but I did get some useful information on the commanders and some other bits and pieces that I'd been wanting information on. The most useful things that I was able to glean are what each of the commanders' specialties are, what their histories were. Not very much in deep detail, but enough. We've already dealt with Barbatha, and of course we are all familiar with
Azalith.
she starts to say Lily and stops herself as Azalith. But the others, I was able to get a little bit of information on them. Malrock, for example, was a druid, so I expect he has druidic abilities, the ability to manipulate nature. Some things probably along the lines of what Houston can do, if not at a greater scale.
More than likely at a greater scale.
Right, but you'd at least be able to identify some of the things that they would be able to do. Julgamez was apparently a bit of an inventor, tinkering with things, making things. So perhaps something along the line of automatons or something. I read something about that. Maybe it was just a theoretical thing. I don't know.
Well,
Cabbage
he's
soup.
the one that came and took cabbage soup, yeah.
Right, which he was the creator of the Warforged, so that makes sense. Collecting his creation, I guess. But quite a bit of information. Xanor? Xanor was a healer and a painter, apparently. So that's interesting. The one that I found most disturbing, perhaps, and I don't quite remember their ranking, Zirzasa? Very powerful conjurer. She could, summon undead fey creatures to great extents. Apparently, she was greatly downplayed because the powers weren't her own. She acted through those summonings, but that's worrisome for me personally. And apparently, one of the most feared was Monoth. Absolute terror in battle. Blacksmith created all kinds of weapons and armors and things. Supposedly the first one to experiment with using dragon scale in crafting. Renoras was an understudy to Xanor. Sounded like a bit of a mad scientist. Not very much known about that one. Perhaps just because they were, under Xanor, but some interesting things here and there. Tarathan was another interesting one. Bit of a prankster and illusionist, could also pose a problem for some of us, if not properly prepared. So, bit here and there. Oh, and Azalith apparently was from interesting background. The first Archfey of Spring. And she'll reach up and give Nevaeh little scritches. Although not quite the same as the one that I knew.
Wait, was she like the very first?
Supposedly so.
I wonder what caused her to become who she is now.
That is the question, isn't it?
Does that also mean that she's not from the same plane that the rest of them are?
Well, that I can't answer for you. I mean, she is, or at least was, an archfey, so she is of fey nature. Which, in my experience, or my little bit of knowledge, would mean she's native to the Feywild. But archfey are nearly, for all intents and purposes, mortal. There are very specific things needed to kill one. And I do mean very, very specific. So if she maintained that, then
Like egg from the sky with a creature inside specific?
more like one item in all of creation for each archfey. Period.
As a note, I did actually get a little bit of information on those eggs.
Oh,
Uh, at least according to what I found, the creature inside was a celestial of sorts, but more like uh how do I it was kind of spread out information. But apparently they are good to the point of uh the only way to get rid of all evil is to eradicate all living things. Kind of good.
so
You know, mortals are the ones that cause all the problems, so get rid of the mortals gets rid of the problems. Kind of good.
yes, because immortals have never caused problems in the history of anything. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're harder to deal with though.
So Azalith removed a thing that perhaps wanted to eliminate all mortal life in some misconstrued, misled, misguided mission to purge evil. Why would that be?
Yes.
Well, if
When
she is
she did
mortal and
it,
not
she
like the other demon commanders, then I could see how that would present a threat to her.
I don't know exactly if I'd call them mortal. I mean, they can die, so they're not immortal. Right there. But for what purpose? Why would she take it? And do what with it? I mean, we all saw how the thing cringed under her touch to its egg.
We all sit here silently as we see the DM is typing.
Mm-hmm.
Sense a message coming in through the ether.
Beef is actually really good.
James and Arena take great care in their work here. They're lovely people. I will glance at Sigarin and ask him telepathically, planning on sharing the other information we found.
So,
Queen?
as a quick aside, I think this is the first time you've actually telepathically communicated with me, right?
Yes, I think so.
So, that's just like a raised eyebrow in your direction. Uh, Also, you said something as I was cutting you off.
Oh, about the Queen. We found that information at the same time.
You don't know I found that information.
Yeah, you don't know he found that information. You went and found it out on your own.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what we were.
Yeah.
We found when we were. Yeah. Okay. My bad.
No.
So I retract that.
In which
And-
case, I don't raise an eyebrow at you.
Yeah. So, change question. Anything else you want to share?
Hold on while I read a whisper from the DM.
Secrets.
I did find a little bit more information about, and just for Aurelia, Jarlath.
God damn it, you son of a bitch.
Supposedly, he was, when alive, a devout follower of the Willow. That is correct. You did not.
No.
But
The goddess of the dead. Dead the lost?
yeah, he was such a devout follower that when he died, she supposedly took pity on him and raised him to continue serving as a guide for lost souls. But at some point, he strayed away from that, fleeing to the negative energy plane, creating a tower, and essentially guiding as many souls as he could to his domain without the watchful eye of the Willow, I guess.
So he stole souls from a god. Bold.
Something like that, yes. Souls meant to go elsewhere, he guided towards him instead.
Oh, I'm sure the god is pissed off about that. Although that does make me wonder why they haven't acted upon it. Normally by now they would have seen some sort of justice for that.
There was a note about it being rumor, so, you know, take it all with a grain of salt, which could explain why there hasn't been retaliation, but also most fabrications have at least some truth to them.
I understand that
Manage.
gods are gods and all, but how much interplanar power do they actually have?
Oh,
If
quite a
the
bit,
fleet,
actually.
I've seen it firsthand. When they get pissed off, at least the one that I've seen, retribution is swift.
That does pose some interesting questions of my own. Not really a religious person myself, but still. Do you have a it's probably a stupid question. Do you have a library in this city?
There's a smaller one here, but I think there's one in the city.
Oh, good. So I have time to get caught up in all the history I've missed.
I don't remember where it is. I don't.
There's the
There's
academy nearby, which would have some, but the actual library is over in the thoroughfare.
Oh, perfect.
if
Well,
it
I'll
still
hit up both
exists,
locations.
Yeah, not not entirely sure its exact location, and the craters are kind of spread out.
Well, worst case scenario, I'll find my way back to the library that we were just at, if need be. I have years and years of information I can offer in exchange for information of my own.
I'm like a resourceful woman.
Well, rather than sitting on my ass all day, feel restless, if you will.
Can you imagine? So, if we're waiting until tomorrow to go to the palace, what do you all have planned for the evening?
oh, I'm not waiting
Did,
until tomorrow. I'm going
did a
back
message
tonight.
get sent?
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody.
yes, or Phineas sent one.
Yeah.
Right, my bad.
I could send a message to Atrix if you'd like.
I'd like to see how that big lug is doing.
Sure, you can send him a message, but I'm still, even if I have to sit outside the gates the entire night, I'm going back.
Well, I'd prefer if you didn't have to do that.
Varys.
Yes, Orphe?
I know that you're really anxious to, like, get shit done, if you will. If you'll excuse the phrasing. But making yourself uncomfortable because you're anxious and wanting to, like, wait around isn't going to make the waiting go any faster. And you might as well at least wait in comfort and with people who care about you and not expose to the elements in, like, winter. Because then what if you get sick and then you get a cold and then you can't do the revenge that you want to do? And then that's going to suck and make you wait even longer. And plus, you're just gonna honestly kind of look weird, and people are gonna walk by, and that's just nobody wants to deal with that
Mm.
either.
Varys scoots his chair back, stands up, and walks around the table to Orphinius.
And slaps him.
No. He stands behind him and puts his hands on his shoulders and says, "You're a good, sweet, caring boy, Orphe. You all know where I'll be." And he walks out.
Do you want me to beat him up?
No, I don't think that would do very much good.
Well, maybe
Just
he
might
needs
be
some
a
tough
work
love
on
at this
it.
point.
Tough love doesn't work on everyone and not in all situations. Sometimes it makes people sink further into whatever it is that they're feeling.
Yeah, but like, what if he does end up getting sick and then he's gonna beat himself up for not listening, and then he's like, I don't know, he's just not thinking straight, and is just like, I understand as much as I can that he wants to get this figured out and everything, but you can only do so much by yourself.
Orphe, if there's anything that I've learned, if someone wants to spiral, they're going to. All you can do is be there to catch them when they hit the bottom.
Not if he doesn't let us, though.
Well, that's when the tough love comes into play.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for the time where I can beat him up then.
Good.
I won't kill him, don't worry.
Please don't.
I would never intentionally kill any of you.
I think I'll take comfort in that. I am going to take a handful of things that would keep for a bit and put them in the bag of holding for food, and then I'm gonna go follow Varys. Not trying to be like sneaky about it, but I'm also not right up behind him.
A Karate Kid montage.
Matrix is in the middle of wax on, wax off.
Pretty
I
much,
love
yeah.
it. Oh, see, I pictured the scene where he's practicing the crane kick on the like little stump in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The montage, so whatever you were picturing, it's there for at least a few frames.
Yep. Well, what do we want to do? I don't think they're gonna let us in, honestly, if there's something serious going on like this. Like, I know that we've been helping everybody, but now that we don't really have the prince with us, we're just kind of, the local heroes. And if we're not invited, we're not invited.
Local heroes. Kiss my ass.
I think some people at this group probably would.
Well, I guess do we just wait till tomorrow, or...
Despite Varys' eagerness, I think that's our best chance. I have something I'll be stepping out for this evening. Myself. he won't be back until late. But if anyone has anything that they need to do, you shouldn't have any problem at all getting back.
Amaya, do you need assistance with this said task tonight?
Well, the person I wanted to see if they wanted to go with me has gone off, so I think this one in particular may be better that I handle myself. But thank you.
Kulog just looks at her and nods.
Well, I do have some business I would like to discuss with you beforehand, of course, if that's okay.
Certainly.
Splendid. This wine's very good, by the way.
Thank you. Brought it from home. Not the most potent that we have, but suffices.
She kind of swirls it around the glass a little bit, looks at you, takes like a very long whiff of it, and just the faintest little twinge of like a smirk on her lips.
Orphe,
Yeah?
you seem to know a little bit more about this town than I do. Would you like to accompany me and show me around?
Sure.
Didn't sound ominous.
Don't worry, you'll enjoy the company as well. And Dark will just kind of get up and adjust his whatever the hell he's wearing, armor. Sorry, I just fucking spaced what he was wearing.
Are you wearing armor?
I thought I was, but I could be wrong. My brain just stopped working for a second.
Yeah, you're wearing half plate. That's right.
He kind of adjusts it, and then, shall we?
Oh, like right now. Yeah, sure.
I mean, we can wait. It's a huge city. Many things to do, I'm assuming.
You gotta let your food digest first before you go walking immediately, otherwise you'll start cramping up. Especially if you're gonna be wearing that heavy armor everywhere. You're gonna be like carrying double the weight, and then I don't want to have to keep stopping and waiting for you every 2 seconds.
Is it like the pool rule, where if you eat, you have to wait 30 minutes to go in?
That's a myth, you know.
I do now.
Our parents lied to us their whole lives?
Now, if you're going to tell me that that's a myth, is the light in the top of the carriage, is that illegal to have on when you're driving around?
No, but it does make it harder for the driver to see. Sometimes.
I feel like I've been bamboozled my entire life.
Okay, fine, let's just go. If we need to stop every 2 seconds because, you're... How tall are you?
6'3", 6'4"?
Okay, so you're tall. Well, let's go. And they walk away.
And it waddles away, waddle, waddle, waddle.
What's Hugh still doing?
Husel will go to probably the main park that got burnt up and see what he can do to help. I guess begin to bring it back from just charred remains.
Easy enough to do. So you make your way over there, and there are druids who are tending to it at the moment. They're kind of mixing all of the burnt stuff up into the ground because as you would know as someone of nature yourself, burning is actually really good for the soil.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're tilling it to get it ready for replanting things.
All right. Well, I will offer my help with that.
And they appreciate the help. There's a lot of space to cover.
Oh yeah. Do we still have my horse? Could we potentially like use the horse to till the ground?
Yeah, if you want to go grab your horse. Oh,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
no, you guys do not.
That's what I thought.
The horses didn't
Your
make it, did they?
horses. Nope,
The
your
horses
horses
were
are
left at the
outside.
cave. Yep.
Yep, they're outside of the Cave of Lament in the fucking wheel. Oh no. Well, that sucks.
Well, it's not D&D if the horses don't survive. Well, I mean, they survived, but... Well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they would survive the wheel.
Well, rip.
F to the first group of the horses.
F. Well, right.
Goodbye, VA team. It's time for the Beehive Part 2.
Oh my god, yes, we can bring the beehive back. Hell yes. Okay. So,
Oh.
you help with the tilling, and Varys heads off towards the Knot Palace with Sigurd in tow. Orphinius and Dark head off to explore the city and get kind of a little bit of a tour. What the fuck's Kulog doing?
Last thing I know, I was still eating food, and then I asked Amaya if she needed assistance. So I am not currently doing anything in particular.
What would you like to be doing?
I will say that seeing that everyone else has kind of split off and is doing their own thing, I don't want Kulok to be by himself. So I will offer for him to come along with me tonight if he wants, because I don't want you to be alone.
Oh, that's a
Aw.
choice.
That works for me. And if anything, I'll just act as a bodyguard. And if you need me to stay behind for something, I will. As long as I can still like see you within my peripheral and know where you are, then I will be okay letting you go off to do your thing.
Big Brother
Well, here's the
Kulog.
thing. Let me
Little
tell
big
you where
brother.
I'm going first. And
Okay.
everyone else is gone at this point, correct? Except Arusha?
Yep.
Great. I'll be going across the river to have a word with the Grim.
The
Whoever
Grim.
the hell. Yes.
Oh.
Whoever the hell's happens to be in charge, since Rivali is MIA. Hell, maybe Rivali's there for all I know.
Just a quick note. Varys told you in Port Abilene that Rivali is actually second in charge of the Grim right now.
Mhm.
Yes, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know who's there
Okay,
right
gotcha.
now, since Rivali is MIA. I
Yeah,
haven't
none
quite
of you guys
decided
have
if I
seen
want to
Rivali.
scope the place out yet. I have a bit of a plan. Long-term plan. Short-term, not so much. I'm winging it. So, in full disclosure, may not be pleasant.
Well, maybe I might stay a little bit tighter and close to you than I originally expected.
Entirely up to you. Arusha, you're welcome as well. Unless, of course, you had other things that you wanted to be doing, which, by all means, please do.
Oh, no, I would love to accompany you all.
Wonderful. We'll have a nice little outing then.
Splendid. I can't wait.
Well, I don't plan on going until well after dark, so, bit of time. Think I'm going to get a little bit of a nap in.
Would you mind showing me to my room? It's a very large house.
Absolutely. Actually, I can put you between Kulog and I.
Oh?
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Wherever you want to put me.
Wonderful. Come on then, I'll show you to the room. Kulak, I'll come get you before it's time to go.
Kulog nods and grabs his stuff and goes back to the room.
Okay. Everybody splits off, doing their own thing. Plans for the evening, or no plans at all.
I would like
Either
to be,
way, go ahead.
I would like to be fully transparent here. Dark is definitely going to get Orphinius alcohols.
Hell
Sigurd
yeah.
is not here.
Hell yeah.
Then I don't have to deal with it.
Oh shit, that's
could-
gonna be fun.
We can RP that out off to the side because
Oh
I
yeah.
have plans. Like I know I want to get him
Oh.
alcohol.
Oh, buddy.
Not the
Enjoy the chain
worst.
puking.
10's okay. It's not great, but
I'm -2. Oh no.
yeah, his con's bad. He's got like a 7 con. So anyway,
He weighs like 80 pounds, and he's like 6'7" or something.
he's tiny. He's not 6'7".
I thought he was tall.
No, he's only 5'10".
Oh,
Bigger than Amaya.
Yeah, he actually weighs
thought he was
102
tall.
pounds. Nope. Nope, he is not.
He only weighs 102 pounds when he's holding his axe. Or halberd.
Oh no.
So everybody's splitting off to do their own thing. Drinks being had, people being followed, plans being made. That is where we're going to end it and pick it up next session, which is going to be
The 10th, I
2 weeks
believe.
from today.
2 weeks.
Yes. Yep. So next week on the 3rd, we are off because we are going to be down Chewy and Sketch. On the 10th, we are on. 17th might be on. Sketch will not be available for that one, but haven't really heard from everybody else on if we're good for the 17th. Then obviously the 24th we will be off.
For
And I would
Christmas.
imagine the 31st as well, just because both holidays land on Saturday/Sunday.
Oh yeah, I guess the 3rd. I forgot about the fucking 31st.
Yeah, that's New Year's. Which, I mean, it wouldn't really... I think the 31st could be okay as long as everybody's okay with trying to do it, because it's not till the evening time, right?
Yeah, I don't celebrate New Year's until midnight anyway, so
Yeah.
Stomach just sank. Jesus
And I don't
Christ.
celebrate anything because I'm just an old man.
You're
Hell
our
yeah.
old man.
It's only 2023. Holy fucking lord.
Yeah, we're like just over a month away from 2023 already, dude.
Bless.
Oh, I'm so anxious. There's so much shit building up right now.
well, luckily
nobody-
we're about to end,
Aurelia,
so
I'm
you
gonna
can go
have
to the
to-
bathroom.
I'm gonna have to DM you because nobody has any idea what I'm doing right now.
47, I was just thinking that too. I was about to be like, well, it's building up and I'm about to go to the bathroom to release it.
Oh no.
I do not have D&D poops today.
Yeah, you say that and then 10 minutes from now.
No, I okay. So listen, I had coffee yesterday and I feel 30 pounds lighter.
Today's not going to be D&D poops. Today's going to be WoW poops.
Yeah,
It's
right.
gonna be wow poops.
Expelliarmus.
Okay, so
Poopus deletus.
2 weeks from today.
No, I'm just imagining the little minions. No.
Oh my
Okay, so 2 weeks today from this is the 10th. TOA is off until after the new year.
Yeah,
So,
it's
TOA,
We'll
tentatively
be back.
until after the new year.
yeah. There's some things that need to happen before TOA can return.
It will likely be sometime February? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that-
roughly whenever
Yeah.
Chewie moves in with
Yeah.
47 and then moves in with us.
The next time TOA will happen, I will be in the same house as our DM for TOA. Probably.
Well, I wouldn't say quite then.
that might happen before then because you're going to be with 47.
Do you get to be the clappy
Yes,
Oh,
chair?
wait, yeah,
DM
that's
for
right.
TOA.
That
Yeah.
TOA DM. Jesus Christ, dumbass. So anyway, don't forget to follow us on social media.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with us while we RP our hearts out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
today,
we RP heavy here. So
Welcome to a
yeah.
session that was not at all prepared for by our DM.
nope, everything today was 110% improv.
Today, our players walked into the classroom and saw the TV on the stand. We watched a movie.
Yep. We put on Bill Nye today.
Bill.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill
Bill
Nye,
Nye the RP guy.
Oh my God.
Bill.
Shit. Well, we love
follow
you guys.
all the socials: Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Do we have anything up on TikTok? I think we only have one, unless you put more up there, Chewy.
I'm working on getting some clips and
Okay.
getting some editing software and making actual clips.
So follow us all there. We will see you guys in 2 weeks on the 10th for episode 21 of Efos.
Yeah.
And we will see what happens.
Love you
Let's
guys.
go.
love y'all.
Later.